Absolute Return Partners is a company that I started. It's a UK domicile company that I started in late 2002. Before that, I was head of the European wealth management at Lehman Brothers. But I grew increasingly frustrated because in a big investment bank like Lehman, the appetite for private clients was really all about having an extra distribution channel. Senior management at Lehman didn't really care much about private clients. They only cared about having this extra distribution channel. And in my frustration, I realized that was a relatively easy problem to fix in a much smaller company. And therefore, I started my own company. And this all happened, as I said, in 2002. Absolute Return Partners has always been about thematic investing. But until quite recently, we only invested in other funds. We have never really made direct investments before. But then about 2.5 years ago, one of our bigger clients, a client in Sao Paulo in Brazil, came to us and said, listen, we like the way you're thinking, we like the way you operate with your thematic ideas, but instead of investing in other funds, if we gave you a pot of capital, would you like to invest more directly? Would you like to invest in equities, commodities, bonds, whatever? Along the same ideas, along the same overall themes, but not in funds, but make direct investments. To cut a very long story short, we said yes. And we ran it as a managed account for about 1.5 years. But in October of last year, we launched a thematic fund based on the same overall ideas. And that's what we do most of our time, what we spend most of our time on today, investing in equities, commodities, ETFs, bonds, along those 7 megatrends that we have identified over the years. And if you haven't looked at those 7 megatrends, I suggest you go to our website, which should be up on the screen now. And on that website, click on thematic, and there you will see the 7 megatrends that drive our investment philosophy. Our approach to investing is a little bit like only getting on your bicycle when you got the wind in the back. What do I mean by that? If you think about it, if you look at those 7 megatrends again, the populace is definitely getting older, no question about it. The climate is definitely changing, no doubt about it. Living standards around emerging markets, and particularly living standards in Asia, are definitely improving, no doubt about it. And that's really what it's all about. All these megatrends are more or less set in stone. They will happen. It's just a question of when investors start to incorporate those megatrends in their portfolio construction, and therefore it's only a question of when it has a significant impact on equity prices, but they will happen, no doubt about it. And that's exactly why we think thematic investing is akin to only getting on your bike when you got the wind in the back, because the tailwinds here are very strong. Rising living standards in Asia are having a significant impact on many things out there. The climate, as we all know, is having a significant impact on everything we do every day. And the fact that we are all getting older. Let me give you one example in terms of getting older, how you invest in getting older. The National Health Service in the UK, what we normally call the NHS, they spend between 6 and 7 times more money every year on an 80-year-old man than on a 30-year-old man. And that's, if you think about it, that's an investment opportunity. The fact that we're all getting older, the fact that the number of 80-year-olds is rising very, very fast, forces the NHS to spend more money, far more money than they've spent historically. And that pattern repeats itself country after country all over the Western world, and not even the West. You see the same in Japan. You see the same in Korea, and you even see the same in a big emerging market like China. They're also getting very old, and therefore demand for various healthcare products is rising rapidly, and that's again an investment opportunity. Our job in the whole process is then to find those healthcare companies that will benefit the most from this trend, and that's how we invest. Just one more thing on the whole concept of thematic investing. When you invest thematically, you obviously want to invest in something that you can tie into to these megatrends. But let me share a little secret with you. The more megatrends that you can tie an investment idea into, the more likely you are to make a very robust, a very attractive return. And the reason is quite simple. If an investment theme can be tied into 3, 4 of the 7 megatrends, and that is indeed the case in some situations, the tailwinds I talked about earlier get even stronger. And therefore, it's not only about finding investment ideas that you can tie into one megatrend, but the more investment ideas that you can find that you can tie into more than one megatrend, the more likely you are to outperform significantly over the longer term. Let me give you an admission to round it off. I make it sound like it's also bloody easy, but in reality it isn't. We also make mistakes. We also have periods where performance is struggling. Over the short term, investing thematically or investing in general is a little bit like a lottery. I don't believe in the ability to outperform over the short term unless you have access to information that is very different from the same kind of information I have access to. Most people should really become long-term investors because short-term investors tend to lose out to the big boys. It happens again and again and again. And therefore, we do not invest short-term. We invest thematically, yes. We invest long-term, yes. But we also go through difficult periods. So when you invest with us, or if you invest with us, don't expect us to perform miracles over the next few weeks or over the next couple of months. We could possibly do fantastically well, but we could also possibly underperform. That's impossible to say in advance. But over the long term, I feel very strongly that thematic investing will outperform. And that's why I think you should invest thematically. If any of this is of any interest, I suggest you either give me a call or you email me. And if my technical staff is about right, the telephone number to call and the email to write to should be up on the screen now. And I'm more than happy to assist you with further help and assistance should that be required. But more important than anything else is that you give up any idea of being able to outperform over the short term. Invest only long term and invest thematically. That's my strongest message here. That's how I feel you have the highest probability of outperforming. And that should make not only you happy, but probably also your bank happy. Bye-bye.